Good evening and welcome. It's evening for me, but it could be whatever for you. Welcome anyway, if you're new to the channel, or if you've been here before. And if you have, thank you for coming back. I am producing something from here, music-wise, trying to, and this is number 25, episode 25 of my efforts. So quarter of the way to 100. I'm pretty pleased. 1, 2, 3. So I'm working on Weasels still, but I thought I'd say a couple of things in here. The first one is just looking at my screen before I started the video, and it's probably fair to say that I do too many takes. I mean, it's one of the luxuries of having this setup here is I can just go rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. You get listening fatigue after a while though. And I'm not a consistent player. I'm just not. As much as I'd like to think I was a good player, and I do think I have, if I have any merit, it's probably just in my ability to keep a rhythm. But I do have a feeling that I have some feel, but I'm not consistent. I'm very prone to mistakes. It takes me a long time to learn stuff. I suppose this is the best way to learn. I'm just repeating. And from mistakes actually come quite interesting things. Like you may have seen, if you watched the last video, I kind of screwed up the acoustic guitar part at the end, and out of it came a interesting potential sort of hooky bit. So that comes about. But I shouldn't be trying to get the perfect performance because it's pretty unlikely to happen if I'm honest. And I should probably just concentrate on doing enough takes that I've got to, but I know I should be. This is definitely what I should be doing. Doing enough takes that I've got I've got a selection, a pick and mix of versions that I can, choose parts from. It's so easy in Logic to just, but hey ho. The other thing I think I did in the past, which I probably should go back to doing again, is like if I'm happy with the first verse, but the rest of the performance goes off the rails at some point, or there's bits that I don't like, or I don't think it's on in time. Just go ahead and change the loop to exclude that first verse, or to exclude that second verse, or to exclude whatever it is, and just kind of micro down on the performance part of it, if that makes sense, so I can just turn it into blocks. And I should probably go back to doing that, and that gets me through the process a lot quicker. At the moment I'm very much in the trap where I'm sitting in here until whatever time in the evenings, if I'm honest, or mornings, and that's not doing me any good really either. So but it's weird, you get into the loop, and before you know it, it's an hour on a 3-minute song. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to sort of say is I not planning on changing what I'm doing, because I think this vlog is the right way. It's definitely proving itself to be the right way to kind of give me impetus to move forward with the production of things. I have to keep creating content, so therefore I keep creating songs. So however, the rate that things are, I suppose the back catalogue of stuff to do means that probably at the end of this I'm going to have, especially if James and I end up combining all of the tunes, or if we're producing, I think, although I haven't confirmed with him yet, and I keep meaning to talk to him about it, that we are planning on producing 2 separate albums. But even so, it looks like we'll probably have enough material, quite enough material. And so, and some of the comments Will made about his production process, and the pitfalls of that first sort of year and a half where he was just stalling anyway. But so Will's comments kind of made me think that, well, if that's the case, I've got a combination of 2 things, and these can be, as with many things can be, both true at once. Um, we could probably be releasing singles as well as producing tracks for the album. We just need to be selective about what we choose. We take those that are further along, accelerate them, turn them into singles, or we, you know, keep them back. I kind of also, it would give us more of an opportunity to kind of explore things like the mastering on SoundCloud, or sending it to like Rob. They're all paid services. SoundCloud's a different level of Rob's different price point than SoundCloud, and equally there's other, I've been sort of doing some research, and there are some other, as is James actually, and there are some other companies out there that will do mastering for you. I think the SoundCloud one, from a review I read of it, is actually an AI, which is interesting just in itself. And I don't know how many of those, that might be true of all of them, but I'm not sure. So interesting to think about though. But so I suppose I don't really have a way of finishing this video off. I just kind of, I've started talking. I was gonna go back over the acoustic part that I did yesterday, but actually I haven't got it to a place where anything's changed. I think what I might do is, I'm keen to work on the Reef song. I need to write a bass for it. I think that would be quite fun. So I think I'll keep working on Weasels, and I think I'll probably be doing more episodes about this, certainly. And I'm thinking maybe this should be one that we try and release as a single. So I'll be talking about it with James, hopefully, in coming days or weeks. We're also planning on doing a big recording session, hopefully, next couple of weeks. Not this week, I think the week following. So hopefully do a couple of podcast episodes on that as well, which will be like, we've got a house empty, planning on kind of James possibly going down to James's, which will definitely record down some podcasts down there, because we'll be in his new studio, which may or may not be complete at that point. But and then also set up, I think he's going to come up here as well, and we'll set up a live room in the house to do some rehearsal, record that, all of the equipment we're using for that, and then we'll do some recording in here and hopefully do a podcast episode as well, which would be quite fun. So live and in a room at the same time, which is freaky weird, because context again, this coronavirus is where we're at the moment. Now hopefully that'll still be able to come off, because we're in a bit of a tense situation at the moment in terms of what we're going to be allowed to do and when. But anyway, we'll see. So if you like this, like it. If you subscribe, that would be great. If you have a comment on what I'm doing, then that would be equally interesting. Evening.